Chris Waller joins us for a weekly update on the stable's progress. A stellar day for the stable on Saturday, Chris. 5 winners at Rosehill, 1 in Brisbane and 1 at Kembla. Obviously Moriarty taking out the Lord Mayor's Cup for the feature race of the day.
It was a good day, Liam, and what it shows is our systems are working, and we've got a good team of staff behind us from the top all the way down to the bottom, and they all do a great job, and it's a great achievement when you can get those winners. And only think back to a couple of weeks ago when I was away on holiday and just things kept running along so smoothly, and I think that day too, Liam, we had 4 or 5 winners around the country, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, so things are going well.
Looking ahead, another big weekend obviously for the stable. Standalone weekend at Scone, Group 1 racing in Brisbane, and obviously the running of the time-honoured Andrew Ramsden Stakes in Melbourne. Start off with the 4 runners at Scone on Friday. You've got the 3 runners in the Cup, Say No More, Elo and Firebolt.
All second-tier horses that should be in for good winter preparations. Firebolt returned with a good first-up run, and his fitness levels will improve from that and should be competitive over the miles. He's drawn fairly well for him. He'll just get back and run home. Elo's drawn close to the outside, was disappointing at Wagga, so we'll ride him quiet on Friday, and hopefully that'll see him get back to form similar to his first up run at Randwick. And Say No More, just struggling a little bit for form since coming to our stable. Obviously had a long time off in between, and she'll run a nice race, but I think we'd be looking for a 1800 metre race in 2 weeks' time for her at her peak.
Okay, and the new addition of the stable, Sergeant at Arms, commences his preparation under your tutelage in the 1300 metre maiden.
Nice horse, just taking a bit of time to find himself, but obviously a blue blood. So just a maiden race, probably a bit short of his best, but it's a maiden, so he should be better than them, and therefore, despite the distance, will be very competitive.
Okay, looking to Saturday, again at Scone. You've got a big team of 7 runners in, but Pet heads up yours team there in the Dark Jewel.
She returned well. It was a nice run at Hawkesbury in a similar race, so she should run well.
2-year-old filly Mademoiselle, she resumes in the Woodland Stakes. She obviously had 2 runs early in the autumn, but you've given her a let up, and she's back here on Saturday. Yeah,
1 on debut, then we put her straight in the deep end against the qualifying fillies for the Golden Slipper, and from memory that race was won by Sweet Idea, and she's still boxed on okay, and I think that would be good form for a listed race at Scone, so I think she'll run a cheeky race fresh up and hopefully be in the first 3 and get some valuable black type.
Got 2 runners in the Luskin Star Stakes over 1300. Riva de Largo obviously off a brief freshen up, and Sedcom dropping back in trip.
Riva de Largo heads up to Queensland after this run, so it's a good pipe opener for him. He'll just get back and run home strongly, and he's certainly in great form, so he's a great chance in that race. Sedcom, he's lost his form, so we've endeavoured to freshen him right up and bring him back to shorter distances. He's another one that's drawn very wide, so we'll go back to near last, and he'll obviously need a lot of luck from back there, but his work's been good.
Also in the Crestfield Handicap over the 2200 metres, Mullican, Black Jag and Instrumentalist, obviously 2 of those being recent city winners.
Yeah, Mullican is a definite runner here. We're not sure about the other 2 just yet. They'll also be nominated for Warwick Farm on Sunday, but it's a nice race for them. Good prize money, and Mullican with a big weight. We've opted to stick with a senior rider rather than claim, simply because Hugh won on him last start, and I think he's a horse that does need a senior rider. Big weight, but certainly his class will take him a long way, and the other 2, if they don't run there, they'll certainly be worth watching on Sunday.
Okay, going up north to Brisbane for Group 1 racing with the Doomben Cup, and obviously also the 3-year-olds, the Fred Best Classic. You've taken Boban up there for his 3rd up run this prep.
His last 2 runs have been very good, and resulted in a win and then a list or group placing or listed placing in the Hawkesbury Guineas, running 2nd. So he's in good form, and it's a good time to head up to Queensland. He won up there last year, and it looks a nice race for him, drawn well, and I think he'll run a cheeky race. Be one charging home late, and hopefully can get the winning prize.
Obviously 3 runners in the Doomben Cup. weight for age heavyweights, Foreteller and Dan Lee, and a new horse on the scene in Beaten Up.
Foreteller he won the Randvet, freshened him up, and probably should have won the Hollandale. That's our view. Didn't have any luck whatsoever, and indicated that he's certainly in great form. So it's a nice race, and I think only bad luck will stop him from winning. Dan Lee, well, he's just an amazing horse. Just keeps going and going, and first time over 2,000 metres. So that'll just help him travel a little bit better, and hopefully not be flat-footed to some degree as he's been probably in his last couple. But gee, I wouldn't be surprised to see him when he's run in more Group 1 races than he hasn't, and he's simply the class factor of the race. And Beaten Up, he'll have no problems in these types of races next year. Whether it's a bit premature this year, I'm not sure. But I wanted to try him over 2,000 metres now that we've got him to settle, because he's clearly going to be a better 2,000 and even further horse. So I think at the end of a preparation with a good draw in barrier 1, that Saturday's the right time to try him.
Okay, and then heading south to Melbourne, obviously a big day at Flemington. Thubian heads up the team there in the Andrew Ramsden Stakes over the 3,200.
Finally broke through for a well-deserved win last start, coming off the back of 3 very good seconds and good prize money races. So it was only a narrow victory, but a good one the way he did it. He's finally got a good draw on Saturday in a big field, so he should get a bit of cover, hopefully settle. There's no problem with his staying ability, so the 2 miles will be a welcome distance for him, and I think he's got a great chance.
Just for the viewers at home, obviously a horse like this has been racing consistently over the longer distances. Do you do a lot with them between runs, obviously as he goes to 3,200 first time this prep?
Not a lot, Liam, just pretty basic stuff, keeping him happy. In fact, I could compare him to a horse that we've got running over 1,400 metres, such as Boban, who's headed up to Queensland this weekend. They've actually done exactly the same work, and one's racing over 1,400 and one's racing over 2 miles. So once they're fit, just need to keep them ticking over and keep them sharp is probably a better way of putting it.
Okay, stepping up to the 2,000 metres, Secessio. He was obviously down there last start at Flemington over the mile. Steps up in 2,000, which you should appreciate. Yeah,
perfect distance for him. The only concern is the tracks down there seem very firm. I noticed they had a little bit of rain through the week, and they've got a cold weekend coming up, so hopefully that moisture will stay in the ground and it could be a dead track, because he needs a dead track to stretch out at his best, and if it is a dead or even worse, he'll certainly bounce back to form very quickly.
Okay, and Fulgur, 1,700, backs up. Obviously a week between runs, but he's been knocking on the door last 2 runs. Yeah, very consistent horse, and typical of a European horse in his first prep. Hasn't quite nailed a win, but that won't be far away. With that said, he'll go out after Saturday's race, go for a break, a short one, and get ready for the spring. But very handy horse. Dropping back in distance is a concern, especially with that wide gate. He'll be going back to near last, and obviously need a little bit of luck, but watch out in the last 100 metres, he'll fly. Just finally, in conclusion, you proudly wear that Magic Bloodstock Racing jacket each Thursday when we interview you. There's plenty of fresh fruit on the scene each week, or you just got one jacket? Well, with Prior TV, we've got a sponsor each week, and this week the lucky sponsor is Peter and Paddy Ty from Magic Bloodstock, and yes, it's a great warm jacket, and we'll be looking for a new sponsor next week, so if anybody wants to throw something on me, or I may even interview you next week, Liam, on Prior TV, and it keeps us warm and cosy, and might even get some soup sponsored by someone for these early cold mornings as well, Liam. Thanks, Chris. Good luck on the weekend. Thank you.